Jordan and Riverside are big because they're good, and they're good because they're big. So the assumption that we need a new high school, I certainly served on the school board for 16 years and participated in lots of decisions. There are veterans in here of the Jordan-Riverside redistricting wars. It was a very bloody, difficult time. But I think that there's too much old box thinking about whether or not we even need a new high school. The bigger schools, Jordan and Riverside, are the best performing schools. The smallest schools in the Durham Public Schools are the worst performing traditional high schools. And so if you have a house that works for you, that you love, that's doing very well, you don't just say, okay, we're going to move part of it, and the family gets big. You don't move half the family to a brand new building. You make your house bigger if you can. And Jordan and Riverside can be expanded. And then they can be over 2,000 students. The best performing high schools in Wake County and Charlotte-Mecklenburg are well over 2,000 students. So we know we can do that. We can support that critical mass of programs and opportunities for the high school kids that we have, save the $3 million on the land up front. And so I don't think enough conversation and thought has been put into that option because we're stuck in a mindset of 1,500 student high schools. And when Jordan and Riverside get to be 1,400 students, oh my goodness, it's time for a new high school. We can do better than that. So that's one option I would like to offer as a way to talk about expanding Jordan and Riverside, building on the success of those schools, improving on strong student achievement. There's no evidence to support that a 1,200 student high school is going to do any better academically than a 2,400 student high school. In fact, in Durham, just the opposite is true. Just the opposite is true. So anyway, that's my...
How do we stop this? How do we stop this?
Well, I think it's a combination of these things. It's a combination of saying, okay, here's a positive alternative. Let's think about this in a positive way. This isn't my backyard anymore. I'm not on the school board anymore, but I think this is a horrible, horrible decision for economic reasons and for student achievement reasons, and also because of what it does to a neighborhood that I did live in and love very much for a very long
Horrible
time.
and stupid.
Well, it is. It's misguided, and I think the way to talk about it is we can do better than this. We can come up with better ideas about how to accommodate the students at Jordan and at Riverside. They took a map of Durham and they said Jordan is full, Riverside is full, so right in the middle is where we're going to put a new high school. But that's not where the kids are. And it's not a good decision for the community, it's not a good decision economically, and we can do better.
How do we stop them?
Well, the way it always worked. I mean, people changed my mind about things. I think that it's not true to think that this has been a big, dark secret. This has been part of the Durham Public Schools long-range facilities plan for at least 3 years. I don't know if the $3 million for the site was in the last bond referendum. It has to have been if they're planning on spending the money this summer. We approved that money somewhere. Somewhere we did. We didn't know where it was going to be, but it was reasonable to assume that the new high school was going to be built to relieve overcrowding at Jordan and Riverside because those are the only high schools that are overcrowded. The fact of the matter is, if you add up all the capacity at all the traditional high schools in Durham County and add up the current enrollment, the schools are underutilized. But we know that nobody's going to be reassigned to Hillside and to Southern, two of the lowest performing high schools in the entire state. And so we have to build, old school thought is, we build a brand new school and we harvest kids out of Jordan and Riverside the same way we harvested kids out of Northern and Jordan 20-some years ago. And we know how difficult that was. We know what happened. Good.